This is Craig. This is another mindfulness video. The theme for this one is love. Love is a practice. So I just wanted to talk a little bit. Basically, in life, we're on this scale. You could say there's love at the top and there's fear at the bottom. And every day we're kind of going up and down this scale, depending on what happens in our day or what happens from experiences and life. And how we react to what is going on today can either be a love action or a fear action. And so we use mindfulness to notice what action we are taking, and knowing what action we take is either moving us up the scale or down the scale. Now, if you're in fear a lot, you'll find you'll be more emotional. So things like anxiety or despair or anger or things like that, heavy vibrations, they're related to fear energy or nervous energy. And it's like if someone is talking to you, for example, and you don't like what they're saying, and you interrupt and you argue with them. That is a fear action based on the energy of an emotion inside you. So if you're angry, you're going to be angry at another person potentially, unless you see it with your mindfulness, you see. So doing things when you're angry or frustrated or anxious is never a wise thing to do, because on this scale, all you're doing is feeding the fear. The anger is already there and you're adding to it with an action. So anger's in you, and anger is then rippling out to the rest, the person in front of you, the situation you're in. Never works. The thing to do with mindfulness is noticing when we're feeling itchy, when we feel nervous, when we feel angry, when we feel frustrated. And instead of doing a quick action based upon that worry, we look inward and we breathe and we calm these emotions in the present moment. That's a love action, you could say. So if you're down here and you're sort of frustrated and worried or doubting something, the first step is to give love to yourself. Love is a practice. You can notice that there's emotions there, and you can go, I'm anxious, I'm frustrated, there's an issue here. Then I need to take a moment to myself. I need to do mindfulness. I need to have a breath. I need to do a meditation, perhaps. Maybe all I need to do is put my hand on my chest and just have a moment. Just breathe. Just have a breath. Feel the breath. Awareness. Not thinking, awareness. The more you're in awareness, you're giving love to yourself. The emotion is calming, and then you're not feeding it anymore with more actions, more fear responses. You've kind of settled it, and so you get back to your natural balance, your natural state, which is a kind of peacefulness, a calmness, and actually a loving state. Now, similarly, when you're up here in the love scale, you're happy, joyful, things are no problem. You're very energized. Everything is good up here. But as I say, your day is going to go up and down and up and down. You might be fine in the morning, so you might be up here. You get a phone calls, maybe not so good news. You might have to do something. I had a letter the other day about jury service, so I noticed my happy state kind of it went down a little bit. But my mindfulness caught it, and I was like, I'm noticing there's a bit of frustration here that I've been called into jury service and all the things that entails. Okay, let me stop for a minute. Need to go somewhere and give myself love. Breathing in, breathing out, noticing the frustration, just allowing it to settle there. Then I managed to get back up to my kind of happy place. But things in your day will pull you one way, or it will pull you another way. Obviously, if you get good news, it will pull you that way. So every day we're going up and down this scale. The more mindfulness you practice, your base layer changes. So you might be down here in a kind of sort of meh, your days aren't great. But when you start practicing mindfulness and awareness, and you just be, and you stay in the present moment, you find that your base level goes up on this scale. So you become more naturally calm and peaceful rather than edgy and nervous. And therefore, when you see edgy and nervous, you really notice it really quickly because your base level's up here. So it's very easy to notice when you've deviated from your base. But when you're caught up in all this, that's all you know. You know, this is your life. It's full of frustration, it's full of tension, full of stress. Mindfulness is about giving love to yourself. That's what it means. It can also be called kindfulness. You're being kind to yourself in the moment if you choose to sit and rest and to allow emotions to come through like clouds and to allow thoughts to come through like clouds. All of these things are not you, they're just momentary things that come and go. So when you notice an emotion, when you notice a thought, when you're worrying about something, the first step is to come back to yourself in the present moment. Ground yourself with feeling the ground under your feet, with having a mindful cup of tea, with sitting and looking out the window, to listening to sounds. You know, what's happening now in this moment. And if you can do that, then you're giving yourself kindness and you're giving yourself love, and you find you judge less when you're in a more peaceful place. So if you're judging a lot, that's also a mindful opportunity to catch, because judging is pulling you back down this way. Oh, it should be this way. It should be that way. I'm fed up with this. I don't like that person. What are they doing? And you're being pulled back into the fear. So even just thinking about it, nothing is maybe happening in the real world. It's all imagination in your head. You could be sitting having a cup of tea in the lounge, but you're not happy because part of you is judging something that's going on. It's pulling you this way, you see. So again, what's the loving, kind thing to do here? Start with yourself, get yourself to a calm place. Then, from that space of mindfulness where you're no longer judging, or you've caught the thought of judgment and you've come back to the present moment, sit there for a little while, you'll find there's a bit of space. There's a bit of calm, you know. And when you're in that space and calm, you can then direct that calm energy out. And if there's an issue that's a bit fraught, whether it's a person or a situation, whatever, you can send kindness to that. You can send love to that, either to the person or to the situation. So, but you're in a calm place. So your love action is kind of kindness and compassion for what's going on. Anybody who's struggling or is doing something a bit weird, they're in their mind, they're suffering, they've got issues, you know, they've had stuff going on in their past that are making them do certain things. It's never about you personally. They're up here, you know, fighting their own demons, you could say. So what can we do? What's the kind, compassionate thing that we can do to help this fear energy, if you like? So as I say, we start with ourselves, practice love. Love is a practice. Give yourself love, give yourself kindness sufficiently enough so that you're in a peaceful, centered place. And from there, where you're centered, you're very powerful. Your energy zooms out, love energy goes everywhere. This is why people meditate on world peace and all the rest of it. And that's really fantastic energy to put out into the world rather than doubt and insecurity and anger and frustration, which is a different form of energy. That's the fear energy. So we've all got this capacity to have more lovingness in us, but we have to practice it to go up this scale. Daily mindful practice, you'll go up this scale. Your base level will be a certain place. And from there, it doesn't actually matter what people say to you or what things happen. You know you're in a place of love for yourself. They can't touch you. And then you can use that love for the greater good. You can send them loving kindness. You know that they're struggling. You know it's not about you. What can you do to help? And that's where, if you wake up every day and your first thought is, what can I do to help? What can I do to help the world, the people, myself, everything around me? What can I do to help? What's the kindest, loving action I can take today about this thing? And often doing nothing or breathing, just being, is a good action to take. Calming yourself is a great action to take. Not acting from anger or fear or anxiety is a great action to take. Give yourself all the love. Give yourself all the love, and then send that love out. So love is a practice. And as I say, the more you practice love actions, which is how do you help? How can I be kind? How can I be generous? How can I support this person? How can I sit with this person if they're going through something? Can I have empathy? All of these lovely words. That's what we need to do. And then the world will change. If everyone's doing that, the world will change more into this loving state. But the trouble is, most people are just thinking about themselves and worrying about themselves, and acting out from those places creates more of this fear energy, you see. So it starts with us, starts with you. Can I be loving to myself? Can I breathe with myself? And can I then send that kindness and compassion to others? That is our practice. And it's a daily practice. So any option that you have, any choice that you have in your day, ask the question, am I being mindful? Am I aware? Is there something going on for me? Can I breathe and calm that in the present moment? Can I direct love instead of fear? The more you take the love path, the better for you and the better for everything. So I hope that's been a very helpful little video. That's all I wanted to say. And I'm giving you lots of love, and thank you so much for watching. And I'll speak to you again in another video. Take care. Bye bye just now. Have a beautiful day.